Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the next episode of the 8-Figure Dentist podcast. So good to have you on the show. So today we're going to switch gears a little bit and let's talk all about ads. I get this question very often. Jana, do ads work? Why do my ads, I spend so much money on the ads and they didn't seem to work. Is it even worth it? I want to grow my practice. Should I do ads? And specifically, I'm going to talk to you guys today about meta ads, okay? Ads that you run on social media. You're most likely not going to be running ads on LinkedIn. Most likely you're going to be running ads on either Google or meta ads, Facebook and Instagram ads, right? They're owned currently by Meta. So let's talk a little bit about this and how I'm going to explain to you how social media ads work and whether it's a good tool or not a great tool and why you may have not had great experience with it and when is a good time to use them and when is a bad time to use them. Okay. And as always with this podcast episode, I'm going to have a worksheet for you so that you can apply immediately what I'm teaching you here without just passively listening and not doing anything with this information. All right. So how does meta ads work? How do meta ads work? Okay, so how they work is there's an AI, right? There's artificial intelligence behind Meta, behind Instagram and Facebook. And they picture it as they are constantly learning people's behavior, your behavior, everybody on social media's behavior. And these days, social media actually, the name is almost misleading, right? It's not so much social, it's actually interest media. So here's what I mean by that. The algorithm is constantly learning your interests based on what you are liking or what you're clicking on, or even if you don't leave any comments or you don't like or do anything, they literally track how many seconds you are watching each person's video or each I should say profile, right? Because some of them are created by AI. It's like Wild West these days. How many seconds you're watching the video to understand your preferences, to understand your interests. Here's why the algorithm, and the algorithm is AI, that's what it is. Here's what the algorithm is doing, why it's doing it. It's because think of it as sticky notes. All of us who have an account on social media have a virtual dossier about us, okay? And AI puts these sticky notes on our back based on our interests. For example, this AI would, for me, for example, right? If you look on based on what I'm searching, that AI put a sticker that I'm a mom, right? Because I'm constantly looking at stuff on parenting or, multiple children. So it knows that I have more than one child. I have not indicated this in my profile, but it knows based on my interests. It will also know where I live because of the hashtags that I have searched, right? This episode should air in March. I'm recording this in January, and my baby shower is coming up. If you don't know, I'm pregnant with baby number 3, and the baby's coming in the end of March, and we're having a baby shower. So I was searching local hashtags when I was preparing for a baby shower for, custom cookies, custom cupcakes, and the sign and all that stuff. So it put a sticker, oh, she's in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. It also I have a sticker on my back that I'm a dentist, because I am looking at searching dental topics. I also have a sticker in my bag that I'm an entrepreneur, because I am looking, my interests are anything that has to do with business. It also has a sticker personal development, right? You get in the drift. If you have an Instagram or Facebook account, then Meta has this dossier on you. It has a bunch of these sticky notes on your virtual back that identify you, okay? And it literally can go even to the point of, let's say you have diabetes and you've researched diabetic diet. It's going to have a sticker diabetes. That's why it's so scary when these ads for GLP-1 or something like this pop in your feed seemingly out of nowhere. That's how they know. And the rule of advertisement on Meta are constantly changing because Mark is trying to be very careful to not reveal this information because we don't want to feel like we're being there's online surveillance happening, but it is happening. Okay. And so whenever you run ads, you have to be very careful with your language so that it doesn't directly identify certain like sensitive topics because you can you can find the exact right person for your product or your service because of this extensive interest-based dossier on all of us. But that would reveal the way the algorithm does it, and it could scare the public. That's why like a thick as guidebook for how to advertise on Meta, and they're constantly changing it based on the user experience. So this is how social media works. Now, how ads work. So ads allow you, right, to when you run Meta ads, you will have to identify the exact person you want to target. And the more granular, the more specific you are with the type of patient that you want to attract, the better will be your search. Because the algorithm will go and look for all this sticky notes on people's backs, and then it's going to feed you those people, feed your ads to those people. Now, hopefully you start seeing the problem. If you're not extremely specific about the type of patient that you want clicking on your ad, then you haven't given AI the coordinates to find those people. And that's what I see with a lot of doctors who say, well, I ran ads, I wasted so much money, and I didn't get any patients, hardly any patients from this. Ads don't work. They don't work if your patient avatar, the prototype, is not extremely specific. Does it make sense? And whenever you work with an ad agency, they will obviously ask you all these questions that will create a profile for you, and then they will run all kinds of campaigns. But the more specific information you can give them, the better. The problem that I see with a lot of doctors is that you don't know that specific type of patient. You're very general. That's where my work comes into play because I teach the concept of niche for boutique dental practice. I teach a concept of having a specific specialty within the specialty. And within that, I teach you a term that I have founded called the dream premium patient. That specific type of a patient that is like the dreamiest, easiest to work with, light as a feather, will pay you 3 times your fees. Who is he or she? Inside of my programs, we get really specific identifying what that person is. And you need to go a lot deeper and specific. You probably think you're specific, but you're definitely not if ads are not working for you. And here's how I know. Generic marketing companies, or not generic marketing companies, will often go off based on a little bit more outdated, kind of like more conventional advice when it comes to ICA, ideal client avatar, right? Ideal patient avatar. They will maybe tell you what's the like the age, the annual income of the household, maybe if it's a he or she, and what's their level of education, and I don't know, even like maybe what perfume they like, right? Remember interest-based media, not social media. But that has nothing to do with dentistry. That's why your ads are not hitting the right person. What I teach you inside of my programs is what I call the micro high value problems that your patient has, that your dream premium patient has. You have to identify those micro high value problems and desires that he or she has. not just more general, like demographic information about them. Does that make sense? When you do that, that's when you set your ads on fire. That's when your return is going to be 250 times X. Like, I've seen crazy numbers. So my best advice to you is, if you have not figured out what is that specific niche that you have, and what is the specific type of patient that you want to serve on the dental specifically level, then do not run ads. If you have a lot of money to spend and you just like love burning cash, sure, go play with it. But if you're really serious about running ads and growing your practice with specific type of patients, if you're very serious about increasing your income this year, I want you to first identify these two things. And I have an amazing program called the 8-Figure Practice, which is my marketing foundation that teaches you how to identify your unique niche and your dream premium patient. And when you do that, it's on-demand program, and it's also part of the mastermind. When you do that, and then you come with that information, with the brand sheet summary to your marketing company, first of all, they're going to love you because you are so specific. You're going to make their life so much easier, but also it's going to save you tens of thousands of dollars. That's when marketing agencies say, oh, we just have to test things out. Well, it's almost like you have a burr and a drill and you're like, I'm just going to drill multiple teeth and test things out. Let's see which tooth hurts. We don't want to do that. Yeah. We probably have done the cold test before we've given the block, so we know exactly which tooth we're targeting. So that's what you want to do with ads. Now, there's still going to be a little bit, obviously, of a testing period, but it's almost like if somebody has a root canal ache and you identify which tooth it is, right? Then once you're drilling into the tooth, you're trying to enter the pulp chamber. Obviously, you're going to be careful because the anatomy is a little bit different and you want to make sure you don't perf it. Those are the nuances within the ads themselves, but you need to know what tooth we are treating. Yeah? Does that make sense? So that's what knowing your niche and your dream premium patient does. So to summarize, how ads work is they work on extreme specificity. Okay, especially we're talking about meta ads, Facebook and Instagram ads. The way they work is you have to tell the algorithm the specific patient that you want to attract. And when you think you're being specific and you're not seeing the return on your investment, it means you're not being specific enough. You have to be more specific. The way you do it is by identifying your niche and your dream premium patient. So if you're interested in the 8-Figure Practice, my signature program, I'm going to leave a link in the show notes below. Otherwise, download the free worksheet so you can get started, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a great day, guys. Bye.